Can you hear in the atmosphere? Oh yes, it's the sound the moment. Soak it in. Deep inhale, long exhale. And that's in the nose. Inhale through the nose, exhale out through the mouth. Action. Happy Friday the 13th, everybody. Thank you for checking in. Thank you for your love, your energy, your support. Tap, comment, and subscribe. Hey, we got it right tonight. But this is Papa Wolf Olokun Fumiola coming to you again with another message from the divine. Had to drop that work. But I appreciate everybody that's checking in and that have been a part of this particular journey. I think we never stop to just reflect and say thank you to some of the ones that have been holding you down since the beginning. But we always give thanks to Odumare, give thanks to the Most High, the divine energy that lies inside of us as well. The divine in me divines to the divine in you. Straight like that. Period, poo. So we're going to go ahead and get into this. This is for my earth signs. Let me just say that real quick. It's for my Virgos, my Tauruses, and Capricorns, I think. But this is for you because so much love. I just got done, and I still want to give more. You see this little fire going behind me, right? It's all love, all positivity, light. What we trying to seek? What we trying to elevate towards? What we trying to get to? You understand? Like, for some times in my life, I believe in the polarity, the polarity of light and dark. But if you dwell too long in the dark, it's overwhelming and taxing on the body, on the mind, and the spirit. So why do that when you come to the light? Be heavenly. It's a balance. It's a balance. But some people got to find that because you've been operating in this low vibration for such a long time. When the light does come around, you get uncomfortable. At the same time, some of y'all need it. It's vital. So yeah, for sure. Let's go ahead and get into this. Go ahead and do this. Once again, Deltavtent Enterprise. What is it? It's relieving and reliving. Wait, let me start it back over. Take 2 is reliving and relieving from generational, systematic, and present-day trauma. How do we do that? By bridging the gap between psychology and spirituality. Oh, straight like that. So we're gonna do an earth sign reading for all my earth signs. The first thing we gotta do is make sure we come to Legba to ensure that we get those divine messages and no trickery. We want a clear, concise message tonight, Legba. We want to know what the earth sign should necessarily be looking out for. How are we supposed to be moving? What are the messages, the divine messages for us in this present time? So yes, earth signs, I hope that y'all all are a joy. But I feel like, people are into different things. So you talk about natal charts. You may have one of the earth signs, Virgo, Taurus, or Capricorn in your rising or your falling, your moon sign, or all that shit that I haven't done the research for yet, but I've heard of it. Cause I listen to some readers as well, and long and behold, sometimes listening to those messages, depending on if it's air sign, water signs, fire signs, I may see something inside there as well. So the message is still intended for everybody, but you know, this is exclusively for my earth signs. So yes, cards, come to you. Like I say, Legba, guide us through this. And if you are looking to get a reading, definitely for sure hit me up. You can do it over the phone, in person. I'm located at Pensacola, but I'm willing to travel. You know what I'm saying? Because I enjoy this. So yes, cards, what do we have today for the earth signs? All right. Okay. All right, that's how we're gonna do this, huh? So we're gonna do this. Oh, I can't. I don't even want to look at these cards right now. I just want to keep drawing. Okay. All right. See what you're doing right there. See what you're doing. Okay, that's not fair. That's not fair. Really. Not fair. But I don't know. Okay, guess we're gonna rock it out like that. There's one card in particular I'm trying to look at right now, but whoa! Don't jump ahead. Take your time. All right, so let's go ahead and get into this. Earth signs. Let's get it. Simply trust your internal voice. Trust your intuition. Your intuition is going to help you vocalize better, help you speak better. Major. Intuitively, what you may be feeling to say, give it 10 seconds, and whatever comes to mind, that may be what you need to say. One of the things I do find being an earth sign is a sense of timidness with our words, because we have extremely powerful words, and that doesn't take away from any other sign, but our words are extremely powerful. So sometimes we find timidness in necessarily what you want to say, because depending on who the audience may be, they may not perceive the message well. But I think by us turning internally to find an internal voice, it only leads us into being better speakers. Some of y'all intended to speak to have a profession to where you are either a spokesperson for a company, or you're supposed to be doing something particular in not a necessarily motivational type of standpoint, but you should be doing something along the lines of sharing your story. I think that goes for everybody. If you got a story to tell and you've come to a level of comfortability with yourself, allow yourself the opportunity to be a support for someone else. Don't try to take on the weight of the world. Some of y'all may be necessarily caught in some particular situation that has nothing to do with you. Or vice versa, you may be in a situation where it has everything to do with you. But don't necessarily try to weather the whole complete storm, especially if you're not involved with it. If it's something outside of your realm, if it's something that necessarily doesn't have too much to do anything with you, but you're trying to be a good support for someone else, allow that shit to flow. Don't try to intervene necessarily with the outcome, something that you may have already foreseen. Don't try to interfere with that outcome, because first of all, it wasn't your battle to fight. Don't do that. It's one of the things we tend to try to take on the problems of the world and X, Y, and Z, but at the same time, sometimes you got to scale back and realize we need to make sure that we're stable, make sure that we're grounded, make sure that you have the necessary time to yourself to recharge. And by innately being responsive to people, sometimes it can cause you to try to take on that weight. So sometimes you just need to scale it back. Give yourself that time and that space to necessarily rebuild your spiritual frame. That's beautiful. That is beautiful. Don't get caught in the false illusion of don't get caught up in the false illusion of everyone necessarily having your back, or necessarily popularity. That was what I was looking for. Don't get caught up in the false illusion of popularity at this time. You may be being thrown gifts. You may be being thrown glamour. You may be thrown compliments, partner, and this could go towards some type of relationship, maybe with a Leo. I don't know why I see Pisces, maybe with a Pisces. Maybe a Scorpio. What is this? Give me that. Don't get caught up in that right now. Stay focused. Yeah, don't get caught up in that right now. Stick with what you know, but don't get caught up in the false illusion of whatever is being thrown at you at this time. That's the one I was looking at. Anticipate some type of adversity. Speaking to the choir. Anticipate some type of adversity. Anticipate being challenged in some particular way. Yeah, I'm good. Oh yeah. Always. I love the fam, man. Yeah, be ready for some type of adversity. I share this. Whatever particular hardship that you may be going through, I want you to remember a time where you had a similar scenario, and how you necessarily reacted to it. Okay, take it, hold it. How did you feel during that past experience? Take it, hold it. Now bring it to life for what you're dealing with currently. Did you like that feeling that you were in when you were going through that hardship? Did you like that feeling? If not, to necessarily understand what that hardship is trying to teach you, that past hardship was trying to teach you, is that you're emotionally set and ready to go now. For whatever adversity that may come, you were able to make it through that last experience. Why not this one? You should be more equipped now to handle that situation because you went through some of those emotions. Stick to your roots. I hear a bird chirping. Okay. So yeah, next one. Be resourceful with your monetary gain. Be resourceful. For spirituals like myself, I know sometimes being in certain spaces and places, you see items and you're like, oh, shit, I gotta buy that. You know, that's gonna be a nice little representation of this. That's gonna be a nice little representation of that. Or this is gonna give me this is gonna give me necessary fuel to make that next step. But you gotta realize as well, it's been inside you the whole time. You don't have to spend money all the time to necessarily receive the blessings that you need. The time that you put into it may be more valuable than the money that's being put out. So remember that as you move forward. Remember that. Because it's going to be important for you to stack your bands, invest. Figure out a budget. Some of y'all may be compulsive spinners, and not producers. I'm not saying everybody's supposed to be entrepreneur, but if you are going to be working on any particular type of plantation, white, black, regardless of race, any type of plantation, just ensure that you're not just spending it all. Try to stack that paper. It's going to be vital. Don't overcomplicate yourself at this time. There's a complexity that comes with being an earth sign. Always trying to make sense of things. We live in an uncommon society. So for us trying to make sense of uncommon things, it's extremely hard. So don't overcomplicate yourself with all the problems of the world. Go back with inside. Try to figure that out first. Because once you figure out yourself first, then everything else seems to smooth itself out. I find it beautiful and strange to hear birds chirping at nighttime. But, it is what it is. Natural lighting, sun. We got the fire burning. It's beautiful. Beautiful. Yeah, once again, don't get caught up. Don't overcomplicate things. Don't, it's complex. Oh, shit. There's always one word in the reading that always get me hooked up. I know what I'm trying to say, but I can't say it sometimes. Complexity. It's complexity about ourselves. But at the same time, don't get caught up in that. Don't get caught up in the uncommon things of the world. Because like I said, we have a lot of framework that needs to be worked on already. So go within, find thyself, move forward. Then everything else maybe not make sense, but you can operate with it a lot better. Simply enough. Everybody plays the fool sometimes. Wear your mask. Wear your mask. Stop showing your damn hand. You give people your whole hand. You show everybody your hand. Here. Don't do that. Conceal. I'm not saying it's great to be in a state of. It's never good to be in a state where you're necessarily falseness, or you know how they say faking it till you make it. But at the same time, it's time to put on a mask because someone is taking advantage of you because you are being too vulnerable. You know what I'm saying? We want to get to a point where we've healed so much that we can be vulnerable with people, but some people don't have the best intentions for you. So during this time, it's going to be very important that you disguise similar, the same way that they are. You got to meet people sometimes where they at. It's not saying lower your vibrations for that person, but you know what I'm saying, if they come with vinegar and you giving them honey, who's really benefiting? You're giving them your honey and they give you vinegar the whole time, and you like, oh, they're giving me honey, but it's a little tart. Nah, it's some vinegar. You know? That also, I can see partnerships as well. I can see partnerships. As you move forward, as we move forward, needed to do that real quick. As we move forward, don't get caught up in any fads. This is the time to be stable. Don't get caught up in any trends. It's easier said than done because constantly being thrown all these different things through social media, through your social interactions, through friendships, through your family members. You're constantly being thrown things all the time. But sometimes you got to deflect those things. Oh, and also too, I'm out here repping Master Warren Jones, Kempo, and Tai Chi. I myself, I'm a student. If you're trying to work on your physical frame, this is for you. Located in Pensacola, Florida. Let's get it. 850 to the death of me. Well, yeah, don't be shaken by these fads, these trends. Stay stable, stay grounded in yourself. Because by doing this, you're gonna find so much self-love. So much joy about yourself. It may be a little uncomfortable at the beginning, necessarily, but it's overwhelming, overlapping, overflowing. This makes me happy. This card makes me happy thinking about it, period. And when I'm doing my readings, I get in depth with the cards, but since I just wanted to do more so what I was interpreting from the cards. you're interested in what the cards may be, drop a comment. Say if you want to, if from any part of the reading that you feel like it may have resonated more so to you, drop a comment. Let's chat it up. You know, I want to build. Overlapping of joy. And like I say, some of us may have to put on a facade, may have to put on a mask necessarily, but the internal joy that I'm talking about can only be manifested from inside. So some of us need to go inside of ourselves to rediscover what may have been lost, what has been necessarily calloused or suppressed. Some of those things need to be worked on to bring the internal joy needed. Because it's so beautiful. It may take time, but I promise you, by doing the self-investment, doing the self-work, you are going to find so much peace about yourself. And other people are going to see that. They're going to feel that. And they're going to be like, what are you doing? Can I get a piece of the pie? So yes, Earth signs. This is Papa Wolf Olokun Fumiola as the architect of Delta Violet Trail Enterprise. And we only getting better each and every day. Each and every day. You already know the drill. You already know the damn drill. Follow the wolf trail. Follow the wolf trail. Stay with me. Stay locked in. For the real ones, y'all are recognized. For my Unfollowers and Wolfpack, y'all are recognized. Don't understand your work is not in vain. Nobody might congratulate you or acknowledge you, but understand that work is not in vain, because what you and your creator, y'all's relationship, is more important than any physical body or a verbal word. Your relationship and what is your destiny, what are you moving towards, is way more important than being acknowledged, than getting a congratulations. It's always good to get those words of empowerment, because we all need them. But at the same time, don't seek for the acknowledgement. Do it because you are personally trying to elevate yourself into your most authentic, beautiful self. This has been a pleasure. This has been a joy. But I'm checking out. Keep up with me. Products, anything that you may in particular, please contact me. You know what I'm saying? Definitely want to do this work. That's why I'm here doing this. So this is Papa Wolf checking out.